see now. Oh, we're live. We are live everywhere. Facebook, everywhere. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Guys, it's first time, so give us just a minute to get the show started.
It's
We're working
time
out the
for
kinks,
the
not like
Cool Kids Countdown.
All right. Hey, Lance, we're live from STS Studios for Was It Really That Good? No, wait.
No.
Hey, guys, we are live from Jonesboro, Arkansas, STS Studios for Cool Kids Countdown, and we're counting down the top 10, I can't even talk tonight, top 10 stories, news stories of 2020. And thank you to everyone watching the live feed. I want to get this, we're going to do this for the first 5 picks. And Patreon members will get to see the whole stream, every bit of the stream, live there on Patreon site. So subscribe, guys, and you can see it all. If you want the uncut version so we can talk about how bad this went or how good it went after the show, you can also listen to the audio version. And the audio version for all the other places with commercials and everything will be tomorrow by 12 o'clock. Lance, how the hell are you doing, buddy?
I am great. Now that you let me introduce myself from the caffeine-free diet, cherry vanilla Pepsi studios here in Chicago. So I was saying before, we look like we're a mugshot because like you're the side profile, I'm the front profile, although we're two definitely different people, but we look like a mugshot the way this is set up. You don't like showing your face. Are you afraid?
I don't mind showing my face. I just look.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
I just don't like it in my, the actual cam right in my face. So they can see me talking in a microphone. We want new people to get on board listening to the podcast. We felt like this was the way to get it. If you're listening to us talk bullshit on the audio version, I'm sorry. We'll be counting down with a commercial break after number 6, and that's when this stream stops. If you are a Patreon member, subscribe for $3, and you can see the whole stream. If you put comments in the stream, questions and comments and stuff, me and Lance,
we'll do that.
We won't see that because
we won't see that.
We don't know what the hell we're doing yet.
Not yet.
Thanks real quick to CW Wrestling, American Hostile Wrestling, Manscaped, and SpunkLube.com. Full episode will be posted on stspod.club and all podcast players by midnight on Wednesday. Lance, I'm ready, buddy. Let's get started.
So top 10 news stories, biggest news stories in wrestling in the year 2020 are one of our favorite years of all time, right, Brian? Oh my God, what a great year.
It was different. Podcast-wise, we had a really good year, grabbed a bunch of new people, but the wrestling business changed. It'll be changed
for sure.
Forever, so.
Yep. So, all right. So we only actually, in putting our list together this time, we only actually had one honorable mention that didn't make our top 10. We actually agreed on quite a bit of stuff here. So the honorable was on my list, Jushin Liger retiring after arguably the greatest junior career of all time, hanging it up at Wrestle Kingdom and at New Year's Dash last year. It feels like forever ago, but it was only a year ago. It was last January. So Kichi Yamada, is that how you pronounce it, Brian? You want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Kichi Yamada. Okay. 31-year career, Hall of Famer by any standards you can imagine. I'm sure. Correct.
Watched him at the start of everything, even as, without the mask and the whole 9 yards. I was always a huge fan of his. And then also, he never aged. The character never aged. That's the cool thing about the mask.
Yeah.
And he worked hard. Even to the last match he had, he was always trying to do all the moves. But that was always cool about. And then we seen a photo, I think, recently. Well, not recently, but when he took his mask off, he took a photo with Sonny. and
Yeah, I remember that.
she broke kayfabe and showed everybody he looked our age. I mean, he's our age,
Yeah,
54,
pretty
55.
much.
So he was at Wrestle Kingdom doing some commentary. So good to see him still around wrestling. But yeah, that was a huge story.
Yeah, big story, but I mean, we have obviously a lot more bigger stuff coming up. So, as our annual tradition goes, when we do our top 10 news stories of the year, we cover the big deaths, the most important deaths in the business, at number 10. So, you know, the bigger ones: Pat Patterson for sure, Animal, Joe Laurinaitis, Kamala, Howard Finkel, Rocky Johnson, Danny Hodge. Those were the big ones that happened throughout the year. That were, how do I say this? Like older, in most cases, older folks. So they weren't. I have a different way of looking at death in wrestling, as a lot of people do. Is when they're older and they've lived a great life, like say a Howard Finkel or a Pat Patterson, it's not as tragic. So then we get to the tragic ones. Shad Gaspard was a huge one that was very tragic. Hannah Kimura, obviously, the bullying situation and the suicide, that whole thing. And then, of course, Brody Lee just a few weeks ago. Brody Lee was a big one that we said before on the previous show that I've never seen as big of an outpouring of love and emotion as there was for Brody Lee. There was a big outpouring for Hannah, too, actually. Hannah. But yeah, some really tragic deaths. And then, of course, the older folk deaths, like what we always have every year, too, this year.
Yeah, hey, I mean, guys like Rocky Johnson, who I actually met in a Piggly Wiggly. Wow,
In
can
a
you believe
Piggly
it?
Wiggly, that's right.
And hung out with him in a Piggly Wiggly. Brody was, Brody Lee was probably the biggest surprise. And well, I don't know. I'm like you, and we've talked about this on I think all the countdown shows, and that
Mhm.
actually will be in the notes if you're listening to the audio version on iTunes. Every version you could listen to our top stories, but the older guys, there's the only guy to ever affect me, I think, really was Lance Russell, and I think it's because I grew up in this area, and it was almost like he was someone there every Saturday morning. So
Mhm.
it was almost like, I don't know, part of the family. I don't know. I didn't miss some Memphis wrestling for up until the 90s, and I finally missed
Mhm.
some shows then. So yeah, Lance is probably when it comes to the older guys, you think they had a good life. Most of the older guys had
Right,
a good life.
right.
So yeah.
So anyway, all right. So the deaths at number 10 as always. So number 9, our ninth biggest story of the year. We had the Twitch fallout and the presence of Andrew Yang getting involved. You had a friend named Yang, didn't you?
No, that was Brian Alvarez.
Brian
Yang.
Alvarez. Was it Wang?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was Wang or
Wang.
Yang. I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure.
I'm confused. I don't know if Wang and Yang are the same guy. But anyway, Andrew Yang's presence in our business all of a sudden. So Vince announces in September that the wrestlers can no longer use Cameo and Twitch and all these other platforms as the character. So to make money. So obviously Zelina Vega, that was a big one. She ended up getting fired over the whole incident, how she refused to stop doing it. Paige took a lot of heat. Lana took a lot of heat. But they're independent contractors. So it's a really sticky situation. It's a really complicated situation. WWE basically they own the names and they want to control that piece of the pie. They want to control the action. So this guy, Andrew Yang, he steps in, allegedly could possibly be in the Biden cabinet. But I just literally just read a few minutes ago that he's running for mayor in New York City. So this is news to me that Andrew Yang is considering running for mayor in New York City. So he vows he's either going to do that if he wins, who knows? But he's either going to do that or try to work in the labor department with Biden. So he vows to stand up for the wrestlers, get unions involved, get insurance involved, and improve everything for the wrestlers. So it's a sticky situation that who knows how it's going to turn out, if it will in 2021 or if it's going to extend even longer. So that whole fallout, number 9.
And we started seeing some figures for some of these people, the money that they were making, and it will let you know how upset they were about
Yeah.
this. They do own the names, but my complaint was, if you're on Twitch and you're on Twitch under your real name, how the hell can Vince McMahon tell you drop that and don't ever do it again? And kind of like he wants part of the money kind of
Mhm.
deal. This is how long is this argument? Are the guys, do they have a contract? Are they working for a certain amount of money? Are they independent contractors?
Right.
What the hell are they? If they're independent contractors, they can branch out and work for anyone they want to. But no, you're in a contract. So Yang, Wang, Andrew, we hope you can get something that makes a little bit more sense, and see what this reminds me. I mean, everyone has seen or wanted to do the union. I don't see it ever happening in actually WWE before we die. Anyway, I don't think there's anything like that unless there's something real major going on.
Yeah, I feel like the business is just too splintered. There's too many different indies and there's too many different, even bigger promotions, and then none of them are ever able to work together. So I feel like you're right. You're probably right. It probably isn't going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see if WWE takes a big dent in their business and the way they treat their employees overall, this whole thing. So, all right. At number 8, Harold, is it Harold May? Meij? I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm not Dutch. So Harold May and the New Japan Quality stepped down in 2020. So New Japan CEO Harold May steps down in October after 2 years. He had come from Coke Japan and brought.
He was what, doing Coke in Japan?
Doing
what?
Coke in Japan. No, that might have been one of the boys, but no, he came from Coca-Cola Japan.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that was where he worked before New Japan. A lot of diverse opinions on this guy, a lot of love-hate for this guy. People liked him, people hated him, so he brought more US exposure. However, he lost Omega and the Bucks when AEW formed. He lost Access TV, lost the account with weekly shows on Access TV. It would have been tough for anybody to grow the business in 2020 just because of COVID and everything. But then at the same time, Vince grew his business in 2020. So by other means altogether. So like I said, a lot of pros and cons about Harold May. And at the same time, you had this on your list, the quality of New Japan of the product dipped in 2020. Less foreigners coming over, obviously. Stale booking, that was one of my big complaints. Too many ref bumps and interference moves and stuff in matches. The G1, we said on one of the other shows, was subpar to years past. But I've heard good things. I haven't watched any of
no spoilers.
Yet.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it yet, so I'm not going to give any spoilers because I don't know any. So, but I have high hopes for a big rebound in 2021. I'm hoping because even a subpar New Japan is better than many other promotions. So the New Japan news at number 8.
It was really weird because it wasn't anything that I was going out of my way to see. And I talked to you, we have a show about the G1, and I told you that it was, I didn't watch as many matches this year. And the G1 is like, I just love it. It's like I'm getting up early before I go to work. I'm watching all the matches, and I didn't do that this year. And I knew a part of it was the crowd. And it's the same thing with Impact. I like a lot of people with Impact, but that crowd, no crowd kills me. And by the way, I call this guy Harry O because me and him are down. We're friends like that.
So, you and Harold May?
Yeah, Harry O is what I call him.
Harry O, okay.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see a rebound in this, but I thought it was the news because even the most hardcores of New Japan fans were like, what the hell's going on this year? So
yeah, I mean, like I said, the stale booking for me. I mean, everybody always raves about Gato's booking and everything, and it's just too many interferences, too many ref bumps, and it just got old this year to me. For some reason, it just got old. So I'm hoping, like you said, in 2021 they can get a lot of the foreigners back over again and hopefully reinvigorate the promotion. So, all right, you just mentioned Impact. So at number 7, we have the ladies of Impact, the knockouts, as it were. So mainly we're talking about Tessa Blanchard and Kylie Ray. So we start the year with Tessa Blanchard getting in hot water for the N-word controversy that about 75 girls came out and said, oh yeah, she said it. She was in the locker room. She said it. And of course she denies it. So there was that to start the year. In the same weekend that they put the title on her that weekend. So it climaxed the title chase where she beat Sami Callihan and she won the Impact heavyweight title in January. So a big move, should have gotten a lot of press, should have gotten a lot of publicity, putting the men's heavyweight belt on a woman. So, but then she actually just disappears. COVID struck. She sent in one video the entire time that they were shut down. They were one of the promotions that actually filmed a lot of stuff in advance. So they had a lot of shows before they had to finally go to the closed studio shows. But she didn't submit hardly anything for them. and they really couldn't do much with her. So they finally eventually stripped her of the title in June. Did a pay-per-view to give the title to somebody else. So she was stripped, and they let her go. They just let her go altogether. And she wasn't stripped that way, Brian. I know you
Oh,
got you
good God.
excited.
I was getting excited there for
I
a
know.
minute.
And then
Yeah,
she
yeah.
marries Daga in Mexico. So what a weird year for her. She gets married in the fall to Daga in Mexico. She does one Warrior Wrestling show here in Chicago where she ironically does the job and loses the title to Kylie Ray. So we move on to Kylie Ray's Impact year. So she started appearing in Impact earlier this year, or I'm sorry, 2020. And then she disappears in October at the pay-per-view at Bound for Glory, does not appear, and she announces a few days later that she retires from wrestling and she's walking away. So I like both of them. I hope they both come back. I hope they both get their shit together. I don't think Tessa has an issue with, emotional problems or whatever. Who knows? But for whatever reason, she's not on a main stage anywhere, and she's way too talented for that. And same thing with Kylie. Whatever her issues are, whatever her demons are, whatever's taken her away from wrestling altogether, I hope she gets that under control in 2021 also.
Well, we talked about Blanchard in the sense that a lot of people came forward saying she was just mean backstage.
Racist. Yeah, mean
Yeah,
girls and
mean.
racist. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. She had a chip on her shoulder and everything. And we've seen an observer a couple of times. Dave says, "Oh, well, that may be reason she's not anywhere yet." She decided to stay in Mexico instead of
Mhm.
coming back.
To work,
So
yeah.
kind of understand it, kind of not. Kylie, we've talked a lot about her.
Mhm.
She in her situation, and we're both huge fans. We hope everything clears up with her and she gets back in the wrestling business. But it was weird. It's like everybody in Impact, and they got some good girls there. We know that. But the two main stories with women this year was the Impact girls.
Impact, yeah. I mean, because we don't even talk about any of the WWE girls here in terms of news stories. I mean, some great matches, definitely. Sasha and Charlotte,
Right, right.
Becky before she left. But I mean, some great matches and some great workers. But yeah, no, not newsworthy, shall we say? So, all right, at number 6, we have We have comings and goings, and I don't want to get you excited with comings, but we have Edge and Sting return, and Taker departs? Question mark. So Edge starts the year as a surprise entrant into the Royal Rumble. After a bum neck and 9 years retired, he decides to come back, that he's okay. So he works a program with Randy Orton. Randy Orton. Anyway, don't get me started on him. The Mania match with Orton was terrible, I think. I don't know. Did we disagree on that?
We did, and I think I might be the only person that enjoyed that match. I may be the only person.
I thought the Mania match was terrible, and then they had the super duper greatest ever best match of all time, whatever that was called, and that actually was really good.
Was a
I
really
did
good
enjoy
match.
that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he tears his triceps in that match, and he's out for a year. So that was Edge's year. Sting surprise return at AEW's Winter is Coming in December. Sting's last match was with Seth Rollins in 2015 when he got hurt and pretty much had retired, we thought. Sting is 60 and he's back. So I have high expectations that AEW will use him the right way. If they put him in matches, it's certainly going to be in a 6-man tag or that kind of thing where he's not going to get risked of any other injuries. And then Taker. I thought Taker did a great job in the Boneyard match. I think that was the only match we saw him in because of COVID. They did get a lot of PR with the Last Ride documentary that they did on the network. He says he's done. They actually do a retirement ceremony for him at Survivor Series, which was the main event, which that was a weird call to make that the main event on that pay-per-view. So some departures and some arrivals in 2020 as our number 6 this year.
Yeah, I think that is the only place they could have. I just wouldn't have put that on the card before anything. Maybe they could have made that a ceremony or something instead of at the end of the show. I'm a huge Edge fan, excited about him working Orton. Like I said, I might have been the only person who enjoyed that match.
You were. Officially, you were.
The Sting return was my mark-out moment of the year. I'm sitting here watching AEW. I'm watching Dynamite live. And I see it starting to happen. And I told you this, that in my mind, I thought, snow, it's coming down, the music, Is that Sting? And I was going, no, that can't be. I don't know why I thought Sting and Snow. And then I said, no way. And then all of a sudden I did the old Sting, it's Sting.
Like Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, and I was yelling, and Misty texted me and said,
the wife.
The wife. I'm sorry. Jesus. I'm sorry, the wife, if you're watching.
I got to edit that. We'll have to edit that out. Except now we're live. We can't edit that out.
She said, are you okay, honey? So, I was
Brian
okay.
had a seizure.
Man, I marked out huge for Sting. And still get that way every time he comes on the screen just because. And I told you I got those pay-per-views just to listen to him do that interview at the last StarCast. So I'm excited to see what they do with him and excited to see Edge if he comes back. Undertaker gone, that's up to Vince.
Yeah, that's a ... on that one. So,
yeah,
I mean... I don't know. I feel like, every WrestleMania season they dangle more money and he comes back, and we've been through this for 10 years now, but I don't know. This one had a different feel to it between the documentary and the ceremony. Like, is Vince really going to take him back, at WrestleMania if they've wasted their time doing that ceremony for him in November? I don't know. So we'll see. Never say never in wrestling.
All right, guys, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only on Patreon.
Oh, wait, wrong show.
The stream is ending on Facebook right now. Join us for Patreon and watch it. We would appreciate the support. Or you can cash at me at $BTSTS, guys, if you want to donate. All right, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us.
Look at the lights went off.